Anyway, as long as you can't hear it, that's good. You know, maybe when Gary gets in here. Anyway, how you been doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Hadn't been very long. It goes fast.
Yeah, well, I had a really good, I've been looking at these dreams, and I had one that was another boring one, and it was about I was at a Penn State football game, and there was Joe Paterno was the coach, and I suddenly found out that I'd lost all let's see, what is this music on Zoom? I'm just trying to look how to stop. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what the hell it's doing here. Now, this is going to be very annoying. Oh, wait, it stopped for a second. Let's see here. Apps, manage my apps, discover apps. Damn it, this is horrible. Let me see. Audio settings, speaker. Okay. Boy, oh boy. Maybe if I take this out. Oh, there it goes again. I don't know what that is.
You don't mind if
I'm just going to stop the meeting. Well, let me.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe if I just listen to one here, I'll be okay. Hey, Tim, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah, they just updated. Let's see. Unpin. You know, they just updated Zoom, you know, and I'm getting this unbelievable background music.
Were you listening to a YouTube?
Yeah. Oh, I think I got it. There. Ha ha. I fixed it. Whew. What is that a relief? It was actually it was some background video. Anyway, oh, here, Gary's here. Great.
Are you at your cabin?
No, our ever alert housekeeper keeps moving everything.
Oh,
this was actually just facing the window before.
Oh,
this is, yeah. When I was a bachelor minimalist, I built this like a cabin, you know, and it's got wood everywhere, and we. You know, it can be 90 degrees out here outside. It'll be 70 in here. It could be 20 degrees out and it's 70 in here. It's just very insulated because it's got the firewall, the insulation, and then wood on top of it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it is. I really like it. I mean, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it again.
You built it yourself?
I didn't build it myself. I'm a intuitive. I'm a sensei.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're aware with the rest of us.
I can't pound a nail in straight.
Yeah.
You know, I let alone. I mean, but I did have a friend do it. You know, it was one of those deals where you start doing something and it goes good until the construction loan runs out. It's suddenly okay. Crazy. Well, I was just going to give you a quick little, I had these experiences of taking these very boring dreams and, I'm saying, what in the hell am I going to do with this? And then I go at it and talk about epiphanies, you know. So here's the dream. I'm at a Penn State game. I live in Iowa, you know, we're Hawkeye fans. I see Joe Paterno there coaching. I'm surprised he's still there. I suddenly remember I lost my backpack, which has my cell phone, car keys, and billfold. Okay, now I have this dream. What does it mean? I mean, I just was, something that really struck me recently is this is another thing Marion Woodman said, we all live unconsciously. We live our unconscious. And she's saying another word for the rhizome, this great big massive root, she says, is the underwater rudder. And this is a great lesson about what the car means in dreams, because it has an underground rudder. We don't drive it. We don't steer it. It goes wherever it wants to go. But anyway, she said that we all live unconsciously. So she says, we marry the person who's our anima projection, and there's all these projections going on at the same time. And she says, she quotes Jung, but she says it a little differently. She says, that which you don't become conscious of, you live as fate. Okay. So when you don't amplify these dreams, you're going to live it in your life anyway. Whatever in your dreams are telling us, this underwater rudder, which we aren't getting in our heads and making conscious, is going to play out in our lives if we don't make them conscious. I mean, think about that. It just gave me goosepimples when I heard it. But anyway, so I have this dream, and so I'm trying to figure out, what's pensate mean? Well, they wear uniforms with no insignia, and what are the colors? White and black. So they're just these gladiators of white and black, And Joe Paterno, the father, the wise old man, the South, Paterno, and at this place of the opposites, the black and white, I have no medium of exchange. I have no support. I have no way of moving. I don't have no car. I have no dynamism. And I have no way to get help. And I'm at the place of the opposites. So I'm a little stuck. So I throw an I Ching. And I get number 47, which is exhaustion. I'm at the place of dynamism of the white and black. The self of the wise old man is there. Yet ego in this place is naked. In this place, there's no means of support, no dynamism, no way of moving, no way of getting help, no help. Now, this is going to come up in the no help hospital. Now, so anyway, this place is it is the lake over the water. So all the water in the lake has seeped into the ground. Okay, so it's a dry lake bed, and here's what it says. He rests beneath a dead tree, trying to make sense of this desolate valley he's strayed into. He's lost. He's a wandering, lost person, and it will last 3 years. If weak, the situation overwhelms him. He remains sitting under the bare tree. Now think about this. You're sitting under a dead tree. Isn't that beautiful? And if you just sit there under the dead tree, the situation becomes more and more hopeless. And such an attitude comes from the inner delusion that he must by all means overcome. Now, this comes right after this dream of sneezing out the body, trying to, this conceptual thing. And I tell you, I had a hell of a time this morning trying to get this know-it-all brain out. I tried to get, the heart is what connects the body and the head. And I just tried to move my consciousness down into the heart. But anyway, the lake is empty. It's dried up. And now this was one thing I told my wife. She makes fun of me because does everything have to be funny? Cheerfulness, despite all dangers, leads to eventual success. It's that stability which is stronger than fate. And so when water has flowed out below, the lake must dry up. That is fate. Anyway, it was just an interesting little thing about that. But as long as I don't know if Charles is going to come or not, because he really had a very strong response to that dream. But why don't we do Tim's dream then, the No Help Hospital? Tim, do you have it? I could probably get it.
Yeah, I can pull it up here.
Yeah, just put it in the chat. And also, I couldn't find the one about the concert, but I would love to do that one again. I just don't remember that we really completed that one. But
You know, I love what you did with your dream on throwing the I Ching, but did it even indicate? I mean, that's like, okay, here we are. What do we do? You know, I mean, or is it just more just realize the state?
well, look at where I was. I was at the place of the opposite. Now they call this place where the lake bed has dried up the place of the shaman. You know, it's the place where all hope has lost. When all hope is lost, and I have no money, I have no way of getting help. I don't have a car, and I'm at the place of opposites. You know, and I throw this I Ching. You know, now I actually threw an I Ching on Tim's dream, and I threw an I Ching on Charles' dream. It didn't work for me. I mean, I think Tim and Charles need to throw their own I Ching.
Interesting.
We might want to do that too, to see what it says. You know, because I've now amplified two dreams I couldn't figure out through throwing an I Ching. But anyway, why don't you read your dream, Tim, and we'll get started on it because it's a elemental dream, I think.
All right, the No Help Hospital. I'm in a hospital ward doing something parallel to nursing, perhaps, but I notice that the patients are being neglected. So I begin to go to other departments trying to find help and back to the patients to monitor what's going on. At one point, I'm talking to a patient who's also a healthcare worker. And I ask her if it would be helpful to take her temperature, and she says yes. I go to the nurses' station, but nobody's available. So I go to another department. There I ask for help, and someone says, "Do you mean out of 9 people, there's no one to help?" And my reply is, 9 people? I didn't see but 2 or 3 at the nurses' station. So I go back to look again and maybe raise a fuss.
Okay. I don't know if you get the vibes out of this. I do. But it absolutely, you know, makes me, I just feel, I really, what I'm feeling when I hear this dream is, it is the place where ego has lost. I mean, ego right now. Now, Tim, we've had a couple of other dreams where you were in some place and no one knew you were there, or, you know, I don't know. But anyway, you're in a shelter for those in need who are sick and infirm. You know, the root word comes from hostel or host or hospitable, and it just means it was originally a charitable home for the needy, and then it later became a charitable. The needy often were the sick and the infirm who had no health care. You know, now now this is a very interesting word. We're doing something parallel to nursing. So it's something closely similar to tending to the sick and the infirm. So, you know, parallel means It lies in this two lines that lie in the same plane, but never meet. Okay. They're closely similar, you know, but they are exactly the same distance from each other. They never meet, but they're in the same plane. So it's just an interesting choice of words. We're doing something parallel, closely similar to nursing, which is tending the sick and the infirm. Now, when we're tending the sick and the infirm, what we're really doing is tending our soul, I think. You know, what's sick and infirm in us is our neglected soul. And the patients in this hospital that are being neglected is our own soul, you know, and there's no help for it. There's nobody here who can, why is there no one here who can help our soul? No healthcare workers, because we have to do it ourselves. You know, you know, this thing, if you do really think about the idea of the higher power is our own root, this own massive root with the little tiny little thing that comes out of it. So when someone says the God's within, or it comes from within, it sure as hell does. It doesn't come from anywhere else. Okay. My rhizome is completely different than yours. And my inner law is completely different than yours. Now, what in alchemy is always the problem is the soul is sick. The anima is sick. And the reason she's sick is because the way to heal her is for the ego to lend her attention. And the attention that we lend her is light, the light of consciousness. You know, that's what is making her sick, is that she lacks the light of consciousness. So she is as if she doesn't exist. And yet she is really the elemental energy of life. She is life. She's both the life force and she's the unconscious and within us. And our ego, and so she's the most important thing we have, you know. And by the way, you know, after this dream I had and doing that little thing, I went down, she was there. She smiled and she blinked her eyes, you know, and it was just an absolute joy to see this happen. Because I mean, she's saying, by her just blinking her eyes and smiling, she was telling. Now there was one other really cool thing, was there was this black matter, and out of from the black matter was coming the aura of light, you know. So behind matter, the eternal shines through. You know, this is the idea of every smile you see, every laughing eyes you see is the great mother's voice or her thoughts. You know, the fact that I have a nose and I smile and my smile turns up like this, and when people see it, they know something, and that is the thoughts of nature become manifest. So it's the thoughts of the goddess become alive. But anyway, the idea here is that I think that the patient is ourselves. But let's just keep going here. So anyway, we notice those in healing are neglected. Now, we go to other places to try to find help in this place, but there's not anyone really there. And we go back to monitor what's happening with all these people who are neglected, and nothing is happening. I mean, we just walked in. Now, this is just a surreal place. You go into a hospital full of sick people, and there's who are in need of tending and healing, and there's no one there. I mean, it's just, it really is a, you know, a stark image. So now even the healers need healing. Even the healthcare workers there need healing. Doesn't that give you the shivers a little bit? You know, I mean, so we do finally somewhat see someone who responds, and they say, do you mean out of 9 people, there's no one to help? 9 people, the ego says. I don't see the magic number. A 9 is the magic number. You multiply it by any other number and it equals 9. Isn't that amazing? Okay. It's the last number in the series. The next number is unity. You go from 9 back to 1. 0 is not a number. So it's the last number in the series. It is a triple 3. It is the lower world, the middle realm of soul, and the spirit world is a triple 3. So it really is a magic number. And do you mean out of 9 people, there's no one there to help? Now, isn't that a neat question? It is saying this hospital possesses magic. Now, see the idea, I think, Tim, and you know, it's easy to make this, you know, try to make it ordinary, but I think the hospital is there for our own soul, you know. And when so to me, and I want to hear, I'm going to shut up here. When the question is asked, do you mean out of 9 people, there's no one here to help? You mean out of the unconscious, the realm of soul, and the world of spirit, there's no one here to heal the soul? You know, I mean, and then we only see a partial and then we go back again to protest, you know. Anyway, I just love this dream. What do you think, Roy?
Next stop, the dead tree in the dry lake.
That's why I say this was exactly the same dream. I mean, no help, no money, no dynamism, no nothing. What does that tell you? I mean, it just tells you the unconscious is very demanding. But go on, Roy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that about sums it up. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Now, Gary, I want to just mention something, that since you've done all this heavy meditation, sometimes when I hear you talking, I hear a different voice than I've ever heard from you before. But anyway.
Well, if I say anything smart, it's not from me, okay?
Well, I know. I mean, I just say that I sometimes hear something that is very inspired. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, I've got a different interpretation, and you triggered it because you know you said that line, something parallel to nursing. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing the witness. He is being the witness. And as he goes, but, you know, what he's seeing, he's missing things. So, you know, it appears there's no help being done. And that might be the case. You know, I can't quite work this out yet. But then when he gets to another department to ask, like, well, what's going on over here? They're asked, like, well, what do you mean? There's 9 people. And so, as you know, this is like when we are the witness, you know, our viewpoint of the, you know, it has to be the objective viewpoint of the subjective. And, you know, to me, this is saying that he's not seeing something which is going on in the place of healing, that there's something more that's available there than what he's seeing. Now, where it gets confusing is we don't know if the place is truly, you know, stuck, or if he has simply not had a high enough awareness to see the additional help that is there.
It's beautiful. You know, Gary, I've been thinking about, you know, in some of your meditations where you say to go into third eye, and you know, the third eye is a witness too. You know, we are the witness, and the third eye is the witness to the witness. You know, this is something I heard too one time, that what the role of our lives are as witness, you know, is really to our kernel and our core is in eternity, and we come here to witness time and space, and to bring the knowledge of time and space back to the eternal realm, so it can be digested there, you know. And I just want to mention the idea of that was, let me see, what was I going to say after that? Well, I don't know. Tim, what do you think? I was just about had a great thought, and I was suddenly thrown off. We got a new person here.
What Gary said got me thinking about this situation, because the staff apparently is there, but they're just invisible. So maybe what's going on is this place is perfectly staffed, but the patient, the healthcare worker, is asking me to take her temperature. And geez, that's not that hard. It's not surgery or anything. And I go running off to the ego goes running off to the staff to try to get help. Well, why not just stay there and help the poor woman? You know, maybe what's going on is the dreamer is saying, you know, you've got everything you need. You're just trying to construct this whole situation where you don't know what to do. And all you need to do is buckle under and get the work done. You've got what it takes. Just get with it.
Yeah, I think, you know, I would say, I don't know if you guys have this feeling that I have in a lot of my dreams, is the aspect of the heartbreak and the brokenness that we feel, the sickness that we feel, you know, really is healed by the metaphor of the dream. You know, I mean, the metaphor of the dream is really the healing elixir. And what it does, it gives this image. And then let's talk about the different kinds of witnesses. Okay, there's the witness, the attention that we give to the dreams. That's a witness, and that's the one we most often don't do. The witness that we give in devotion to the soul and devotion to our bodies and to nature. You know, connected by what needs to connect the head with our earth, which is our body, is the heart, is feelings. And if you remember in that thing. Is it by Burma? You always know that, Tim, where it's the journey of spirit, soul, and body. You know, was that Jacob Burma, or I don't remember, but it was this. Yeah, it's this journey, and where they're going is to the place of the heart, because the heart is what connects all three of its feeling functions. So anyway, the witness to the fact that there is someone sick in the psyche. So let's take this, Roy. Who's sick? What's sick? And why is there no healthcare workers there?
The caretaker is with the ego, but it's not, the soul's not there. So of course that whole what you call it, a altar is sick. It doesn't have a future. It can function. Anima. It can function. Well, what is the anima? It's the soul. You want me to say anima instead of soul? I mean, I could. It's the same thing. The soul's not there. It's why the daemon and the ego are not the anima and are not the soul. The daemon and the ego are operating in the physical world here, where we are dealing with the government and society in our lives. Of course, it's going to get sick. It doesn't have an anima. It doesn't have an animus. It doesn't have a soul. It's not embodied. It's far away, being preserved in the other world.
You nailed it. You nailed it, Roy. Why is this sick? What is missing? Soul.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So when we say the healthcare worker, the 9, there's 9 of them. The magic number. I mean, that number or that entity that when it's multiplied by itself, it always equals itself. It is the last number in the series, and the next number is unity. You know, it's missing. That's what's missing in this hospital. The 9 workers, and the 9 is a number of names of the goddess. The
hospital is life. It's a metaphor for life.
It is. Well, you know, like I was saying last time, that this one guy says we're all orphans, and the whole world is an orphanage. You know, and we all what we experience when we're born is everyone experiences this sense of abandonment, because we are eternal beings in a 3-dimensional world, and so we feel that there is that sense that there's disconnection. But anyway, I don't know whether what do you think, Tim? Let's hear, Tim, what is your emotional reactions? What is the most surprising thing in the dream? What do you think of the fact that there's no feminine in it other than a healthcare worker, but it seems to be a desolate place, this dead tree that we're resting under, and if we stay under it too long, the situation gets more and more hopeless. That's what they told me anyway. Yeah,
there were a couple female nurses kind of hanging around, but they were busy and they didn't lend any help. But I think what's surprising is one is having a professional in bed. That's, you know, it's a reversal. So so I need, as the witness, I need to take that role, and she tells me what to do. So it's not that hard to step in and take that role. And I like the idea of being I guess a helper to the to the soul, because I always feel like it's always reversed. I always go begging for more, you know, oh, tell me what to do. But I'm this kind of pathetic character going to my soul or my anima and saying, what can you teach me? And maybe what she's trying to say is, look, you're the guy who's in control here. It's time for you to step up and do the work.
We need to be related to her. We need to have the feeling functions of relatedness to the soul. Be in total. They said that Jung's God was his soul, you know, and so his sense of devotion was to the soul. And I'll tell you, it really is mine too. Is I'll just tell you just a little bit. You know, I try to go to Gary's place, you know, through. I find it's a really effective method too. You know, you have Inanna take you down through 7 gates. I'll tell you, you can't get through all 7 without losing consciousness or losing track a little bit. But you go through each gate. Here we remove our shoes. We go down the hallway, go down the second set of stairs. And there at the second gate, we take our socks off. And then she's leading. And then we go through the second gate. And then the third gate, we take off our skirt or pants. And then the 4th gate, until we get down to the 7th gate and we take off our rings, you know. And then we open up the 7th gate. And then we come out to a ridge that overlooks this valley of soul, this forest that's full of all kinds of mysterious, unknown things. And it's vast, never ending. You know, and then I go down there, and there's the woman at the threshold who is the goddess of all woodland spirits, you know, all woodland birds. And then you go through the river. I always have a little discussion with the wow and the river. And then when you come out, here's the goddess, the mother goddess. I always try to embrace them. I ask for a kiss. I try to respectfully feel their feminine forms. And after that, come here, Sylvie, come here. Anyway, after that, I'm done. And then the important work starts. I go to see the soul. And when I do that, I get up out of my chair. I go put my head between 2 pillows, and I put my head up against the wall, and I just look into the darkness. And then that's when sometimes I see something, and not all the time. But I mean, it's just this devotion to the soul, lending attention to the soul. And I'm a novice at it, but anyway, Gary, do you have any thoughts about the No Help Hospital? And I really think Roy did the best job on it. The fact that what's missing, why the halls are all empty, why the tree is bare and the lake bed is dry, is there's no soul. Where's the soul?
Okay, I'm going to give just another slightly different view.
Sure, great.
So we go through the first part, and there's no soul. So this department is like, you know, it's some part of ourselves. But then you go into another apartment. There's people to ask for help there. There is aliveness there. But that part of ourselves is not aware of the deadness of this other piece. And so, you know, this is like the witness is a journey of awareness where it's like, you know, this is a discovery of a part of us in need of help and you know, bringing consciousness, because it's always a matter of making the unconscious conscious, you know, or else we live the unconscious. So we're seeing that right here, you know, just what you said. That first part is, you know, it's just this nebulous thing, you know, and things aren't formed, and you know, and that is the unconscious. And then in the next apartment over, you know, they're not aware of of that, you know, of what's going on next door.
You feel the, I mean, I just feel the excitement of making a dream conscious, because really, you know, Jung says that the goal is process, is the journey. There is no goal. The goal is just making dreams conscious, making unconscious contents conscious. Now, in this case, Tim, what do you think of this in relation to all the other series of dreams? I mean, it is it fits in, but don't you feel a sense of majesticness in this desolation? I mean, I do. I mean, I just feel that these empty hallways resound with a great echo of emptiness. You know,
yeah, it feels to me a little more hopeful, because a lot of the other ones, I was kind of lost and just had no idea what to do, or
you're helping.
Yeah, you remember where I was wandering around that town, and you know, I'm afraid I'm going to get caught. That kind of feeling has been superseded, and now we're in a position where I actually almost realize what I can do to help. But the situation is ripe for a kind of development that I feel like I'm right on the cusp of that development.
That's very true.
All I need to do is, you know, grab the steering wheel and go. Or
I know that is very true. There is this aspect that you are trying to bring some order here, and you're almost like Hermes. You're going from one place to another place, trying to connect the sick and the infirmed with some type of order. You know, I mean, you're trying to do something, but the dynamism that is lacking, I believe, is the soul. And it's just, I mean, the absence of soul here is what was missing in my dream too. You know, just this deep absence. I guess what it comes down to is the ego can't do this. You need the nine. You need the magic number. That you need the triple three worlds. You need. I mean, the ego can't help you now. So every fairy tale. So what do you need? You need body. You need instinctual life. You need to have the feminine energy match your masculine energy. Now, this is the idea, really, and it's come to me from that book on the animus, is that the feminine energy is in us, not outside us, and it's this this vision of the caduceus, of the two snakes. We both have masculine, and we meet and then we go apart. We meet and we go apart. So plus it is constant devotion to this inner figure called the soul. I mean, to talk with her, to have discussions with her, and as a living entity. I mean, when I see her blinking at me and smiling at me, and sometimes she comes over and sits by me. I mean, she just floats over to the right. You know, it's just and you know, the only way I can know how to do it is to participate in the receptive world of the feminine, and this world of process, and the world of the irrational, you know, and the world of the intuitive, the world of sensate, and the world of feeling. And my biggest enemy in this realm is thinking. You know, it really is a killing thing to some extent when I'm doing this work. But it does help me bring meaning to it later, you know, or something. But anyway, do you guys want to, do you want me to go over Charles' dream real quick, even though he's not here? I mean, I did some work on it. Or
Oh, did you type it up by any chance?
Yes, I sure did.
Yeah, that might work then.
Yeah, I mean, we
think
could at least get started on it. Hopefully, Charles is when he comes
I
back.
think we ought to wait till he's here to discuss that.
Well, yeah, we could
don't
do
want
that.
him to miss anything.
No, but I just wanted to let me just mention a few highlights, okay? Well, you know, he was at school. He was a child. There was a concert going on, a heavy metal band performing. The vocalist was a female, part in a song where the audience would get a chance to sing, and he wanted to sing. He wanted to sing. They looked at him and he made eye contact. They point the microphones at me, but I'm too shy, so they pick someone else. End of first scene. Okay. This is Parsifal not answering, not asking the question. Okay. So what happens after that? He falls over a wooden rail right on his head. He gets up. The concert's gone. There's no one in the Grail Castle. They've all left. And by the way, the heavy metal band. What are the heavy metals? They're gold, silver, mercury, iron, copper, tin, and lead. They're the metals of alchemy. The heavy metal band, the alchemical band, with the singer is the anima, and they give him an invitation to join this alchemical transformational world. And he wants to sing, but again, this is the problem with the puer, inability to act. It all disappears. It disappears. Falls over the thing. And now I cannot resolve the last part of it. You know, now this was so amazing that everyone makes their way home. It's 9:19. Okay. 333, magic number 1333. Okay. And then he has to catch his best stop. And this is the part I cannot answer. It's very personal. You know, I'm wondering if I can go home with my friend. Now, first of all, remember he's a child. I don't know if his parents will let me. One of the faculty members is there, and she says, "Oh, is he cheating on you?" Well, what does that mean? You know, it means that it means that this person is our lover, but he secretly loves someone else, you know. But the dream ego says he's not our lover. But now remember, the faculty, when he quit school and the faculty members all come out and try to get him to stay, and he says he's going to leave. So then they secretly put something in his trunk, and it's a bunch of fish, you know. And anyway, the faculty member keeps saying that, "Oh, is he cheating on you? Oh, is he cheating on you?" Now that I can't go anywhere. Well, now that's. Do you have any? You don't have to say anything, but I just had so much fun doing. I couldn't resist. Roy, do you have any comments on it?
Could you post it?
What's that?
Could you put it in the chat?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes. All right, just a second. All right. Yeah, you asked me, and I'm very absent-minded. Let's see here. Well, and then after we're done here, do you want? We can either do the concert dream, or if Gary or Roy have a dream, we can do that one too. Just kind of disappointing he's not here. I was really, looking forward to.
Sounds like he's really struggling to finish out the season there, you know.
Yeah, but you know, he keeps getting, I mean, he's making all this money, and you know, and they want him to come back next year. And you know, so it's just,
I mean, with the amount of money he's made, he can take off all the months intervening, you know.
yeah, I know. I mean, he's going to be making, you know, about almost almost 45,000 a year.
Wow.
You know? Okay, I've got it here now. I'm ready. Yeah, let's see here. Chat.
In a way, though, it's the wrong type of job for him. I mean, he needs something that isn't 10 hours a day, you know.
Oh yeah, but isn't it amazing that he can do it? I mean, I
Oh,
say
yeah,
what
yeah.
he's doing is he's developing a real you know, stamina that is going to be really good for him. I'm wondering if he went. I don't know. This last part, I'm a little. I think it's a little sacred, and I'm not sure what I want to hear what he has to say. I mean, I didn't mean to jump down his and first of all, it was sort of, I don't know what it means, but I don't really think that there's any judgment involved in it. It's just I don't really know what to say. I mean, he kept saying it was an epiphany, you know, but anyway, we don't really have to talk about it. I just was just struck by the image of the heavy metal band. Oh, did I just put that in there twice?
No.
No, I guess I didn't.
No, you have.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Well, did Roy or Gary or Tim, do you have any quick comments, and then we can go to another dream?
Yeah, well, I was interested in Charles' comments. It's his dream.
Yeah.
It shook his confidence very much.
Yeah.
He's questioning his ability to have a relationship with the female. It really shook his confidence. He hasn't gotten to the point where he can accept the world as it is. He's under a lot of peer pressure. Of course, you would be at that age, and it puts a lot of pressure on him. And you know, he being inside the hurricane, he can't see that, and that's very stressful, and it's very difficult to communicate with him when he's in that hurricane. You know, it's all young people have to go through it, and some people have a lot more trouble with it than others. It's very difficult for Charles. So he is questioning his sexuality, which I can see how he got to that. But I think it's a question of he's not accepting the universe as it is. You know, he's just sensitive, and he feels awkward, and he tries to regress. He's making attempts to be successful in the world. It's very difficult. I mean, that's what I see it is.
Yeah, but the unconscious loves him so much. What do you think, Tim?
Well, yeah, I agree. I think it has to do with his orientation, and the easy way to deal with that is to look around, see what other people are doing, and you know, you can't figure out your own doing that. So it's just a matter of kind of taking stock of who he really is, and trying. I'm glad he's out in Maine because kind of like me out here in Montana, it's easier to hear your own voice when there isn't a lot of noise around. And I think hanging out on an island, you know, with so much nature around is a really good place to figure that kind of stuff out.
I think, you know, maybe he finds it a little ordinary now, but I think once he leaves, he's going to remember how special it was.
Yeah.
It was really special. I think one of the things in this dream that just was, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever been mocked by the, it's horrible, you know, and to have it happen over and over again. I mean, I was thinking of that when Roy said, Roy, you know, you are really, you have a way of, you understand Charles, I think, better than anybody. I really like what you said. What do you, Gary, you're kind of a mentor to lost, wayward children. What?
This is so true. Oh my gosh. Well, once again, I'm gonna disagree.
Yeah.
You know, so he makes the attempt to join with the divine, but he can't make the transition. And then, you know, he falls and he finds out that everything that might have been is already over. It's already passed. And now, you know, we have the magical time that it's time to leave. And he wants to go with a friend, you know, but again, you know, the opposing forces of darkness come and, you know, and shame him. You know, they turn it into something that it isn't, you know, they tease him, you know, it's like, oh, is he cheating on me? And he just wanted to go back with a friend, you know, I mean, he's probably already rattled because, you know, he was shy and he kind of fell, he missed it. And now, you know, he would like some support. But the faculty who should be supportive instead turns into the shadow and attacks. So this has something to do, I think the main lesson in here is something to do with, you know, the shadow that should support and attacks and you know, causes him to lose his confidence.
Well, you know, the first part of it was just this magical invitation to join this alchemical, transformative, lyrical, and the vocalist was the anima, and he wants to join her, and she invites him. You know, yes, everyone is waiting for you to come. It was just like everyone waiting for Parsifal to ask the healing question. And there's this inability to act. And then suddenly it's like he tumbles out of the magical realm, you know, and he literally falls over this sort of a threshold of one world into another, you know, and falls onto the ground. Everything's gone. And now he's going to go back to home. And then there's this little, and I say this, we cannot possibly do without Charles's. What does it mean to go home with the friend that his parents won't approve, and then to have this? See, now, I think that this is the response of the unconscious to the inability to act. Okay. The inability to act. That if that dream had been, he did join her, you know, I mean, versus he didn't join her. I mean, think of the, did you feel a great, like, you know, just this, you know, just this unbelievable anticlimax that he didn't join her. And after the anticlimax, what could possibly happen? You know, I mean, and then suddenly everything's gone. The concert's over. It all was all meant for him. And once he didn't accept the invitation, there was no concert anymore, no need for one. And then he has this strange interlude, which you know, seems to me like sacred ground. And it is full of what Roy was talking about, some kind of, it is a is a great wound. Don't you have this feeling that it's describing possibly the great wound of his life, you know, in very a very intimate way, you know. But anyway, I just couldn't resist, because at least that first part, it's very poignant. You know, we've always been having these poignant dreams. I mean, Tim, your dream was, to me, exceedingly poignant. And, you know, exceedingly poignant means sadly beautiful. You know, it is absolutely a beautiful dream, but there's just this little bit of I mean, I think Roy, I didn't even think of it till Roy said that the soul was missing. Well, do you want to do either Roy or Gary have a dream?
Not me. How about you, Roy?
How about you, Roy?
I'd have to toss one in there from the past. I don't have a recent one.
Okay. Well, do you want to put your dream in there, Tim, about the concert? And let's see if we can remember. I looked for it. Yeah, I couldn't. Did you email it to me, or?
I think I just put it in the chat. Here, let me.
Okay, yeah, because that's probably why I couldn't find it. I don't think I saved it. I mean, I think I have it in the chat, but I would like to go over that a little bit, because it's, you know, I don't think we finished it or even got close to finishing.
Just to make some comments on these last four dreams. Let's see, mine. I'm going to have to face the authority figures of what I did, you know, raising the cocoa tree, which is a problem. Craig's lost his keys. He's going to have to find his keys, but he's going to find out he doesn't need any keys. He's an orphan, but he doesn't know that yet. Tim is figured it out. Oh, yeah, I can take this patient's temperature. He can go do that, but he's going to find out he's going to get in trouble with the authority figures because he took that action in. So you see, and even Charles, he had the gate shut on him, but you know, he'll be back. He's humiliated, but you see what happens. You know, we're living in this world of materialism and our ego, and we think there's a solution, but there's no solution. You know, we have all we need, but it's so hard to realize.
I think that's wonderful summary. I think the thing it really does is it highlights how greatly in need we are and how barren we are without the inner world, without the world of soul. And that it is a living world and it's a real world. And if we're not connected with it, you know, we are these desolate realms. We're just absolutely living in a wasteland. You know?
Yeah, and
I mean,
I think
it's
what
the water of life. And okay, so what it is really is just to be in devotion to something. So what are we in devotion to? In a religious sense, and remember, the religious sense can mean either two things. It either means to connect the outer world with the inner world, and I really think it's the head with our little earth, which is the wisdom of our own body. That's got all the nature in it we need. I mean, all this other nature around us is a metaphor for the earth within us, and the connecting link is the heart, you know, or the relatedness or feeling. And if that is the water of life. I mean, it's just and the tragedy of our lives is that we don't do that, you know. And I just keep thinking of this thing that. You know, from the Gospel of Thomas, when, you know, the disciples ask, when will the kingdom come. And Jesus says the kingdom will not come by expectation. Men will not say, see here, see there. The kingdom of the heaven is spread upon the earth. And that means it's in you. Your body is the earth. Your body is nature. The kingdom of the Father is spread upon the earth. But we, not men, we don't see it. We only see 2 or 3. We don't see the 9 people there. Do you mean out of 9 people, there's no one there to help? Okay, why aren't there 9 people there? Because men do not see it. No. It's just it just shows how important this work we're doing is, really. But Tim, why don't we look at that concert dream? And unless Roy, you can always, you know, your dreams don't expire. Do they have an expiration date on them?
No, same old themes going on, rehashing them.
Okay. Well, let's because I remember that concert dream. I don't remember it, but I just remember it was very you know, it was a little did you put it in the chat yet? Or?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Oh, you did. Okay. Good. All right. Let's get it in there. Oh, I see. I just didn't go down for enough.
But I feel like I'm taking up too much stage time.
Well, it's other than that, I mean, unless Roy, you want to, why don't we go over it real quick? And Roy, why don't you look for a dream while you're
okay.
Doing that?
Enlivening the concert.
Yeah, go ahead and read it. Yeah.
I've been asked to guest conduct an orchestra concert. The symphony music is expanded with the possibility that some of the numbers could be enhanced by solos by individuals who do extra work to expand them using their own emotional stories and journeys. The music is made dusky and deep through writing about their painful experiences, following the themes of the works. The owner or the person in charge or the authority also takes me through an antique university hall full of these kind of cabinets of curiosity and things, and shows me beautiful wood boxes with historic instruments inside that could be used by those players. I'm thrilled at the artistic possibilities.
Yeah, that is just absolutely beautiful. Let me get this in. I had it in here. I just saw it a second ago. Let's see. I got to put it in my Word document here. All right. Okay. Shoot. Oh yeah, here it is. I copied everything. Okay. Enlivening the concert. The concert can be even more deep than it seems. You know, there's an idea of that life can be brought to it, and this is literal. Okay, and so there, the dream ego, have been asked to conduct a concert. Okay, so this is I believe it's our own concert. This has to do with a concert with all of our inner figures and with nature and everything that's connected with the destiny of our lives and all the beautifulness of it. The symphony music is expanded with the possibility that some of the numbers could be enhanced with solos by individuals or inner figures who do extra work to expand them by using their own emotional journeys. The music is made dusky and deep through writing about their painful experiences. Now, so this is, I think, the community in this dream of the people with the painful experiences are different points of our own emotional journey. You know, I mean, ourselves when we were, you know, you know, pre-teenager, through our teenage life, through our young adult life. This concert can be enlivened by our emotional journeys, being brought into the music. You know, I always ask myself, you know, my life, I did lead somewhat of an unlived life, you know, and I ask, wasn't it a waste, you know? And I think the soul is very forgiving of it, but she thinks that you learned something by it. I mean, we all live, and you know, I had this friend one time who was a Hell's Angel. He was just a, you know, I mean, he was literally a biker, and he just looked like a biker. And you know, I went to high school with him, and he just this hard drug using guy, you know. And I saw him. He just died recently, and I just saw him a couple years ago, and he told me, you know, I said something, and I didn't really say anything, but he said, Craig, we've all experienced such great pain, you know, in our lives. I mean, he was just talking to me like he was a little kid looking at his life, you know, and the pain that he felt. But that this concert, so let's say it's the concert of our own life. And we've been asked to guest conduct it. And the concert would be much enlivened if all of this, all of the, our long body, or, you know, just had a little part and make it dusky and deep, you know. Now, what do you think, Roy, about the concert? And what is the concert? Who is it about? What is it about? What's the most surprising aspects in that dream?
Yeah, I need some more time. We went
okay,
over
Gary,
that.
how about you? Why don't you let him give him a second to
Well,
look at it?
this might be off topic, but you know, it's like, you know, I think, you know, a lot of people want these like spiritual experiences and stuff, but you know, after you die and stuff, it's not that type of thing that, you know, I think they would look at on the other side. What they would want to know is, you know, tell me about the poetry you created. Tell me about, you know, the music you made. Tell me about the creative things you've done. So Tim is like by far and away the most fortunate of us here.
Really true. This is so
you know,
true.
and
Very
so,
true.
you know, in this dream, you know, I think really it's just like the dream is not even, you know, it's not so much a story as it's a message of like, you know, this is just beautiful. Not only are we creating something new, but there are individual moments where, you know, parts of you can come forth and expand. And how do we connect to the earth? You know, it's like, you know, we connect to the earth through the emotions, the emotional journeys, and that's in there. And what do we do with journaling? You know, again, we connect to our soul through journaling, and you know, the deep, you know, music is made dusky and deep through writing about their painful experiences. So it's this unison of both, you know, journaling and you know, the emotional coming into the music. And then, you know, we even get the you know, the connection to our ancestors in the past with the, so, you know, it's, you know, I guess if you could ask for one dream which kind of summed up a life and was, you know, just trying to show it in as artistic and a beautiful form as it could, this would be the dream.
And I think the events are the kairos, not the chronological life. but the life of those moments of great omens, where there was an omen, you know, this Kairos moment. I mean, have had Kairos moments, haven't you? I asked my soul this morning what my greatest Kairos moment was, and it keeps coming up with the same one. I even hate to tell it, but you know, it was when I was 12 or 13. I made a date with a girl, and then I stood her up, you know, and you know that just haunted me the rest of my life. But it was a Kairos moment. It seems silly, but you know, it was a symbol of my in a Charles-like sense of my separation from the life force, of my separation from the body, my separation from the feminine, and the separation from lived life, you know, really, and the separation from the soul, you know. What do you think, Tim? Who is the concert for, and who are the people in the concert who are going to make it? I think when you say enlivening the concert is going to be a living entity. It is going to be a psychic reality. And it's going to become a psychic reality by the human experiences that make it dusky, dark, and deep.
Yeah. It occurs to me that as an art form, performance only happens in the present. And, you know, even though the symphony is written down and it lasts for hundreds of years, when it's performed, all of a sudden it comes alive in one moment in time. And it's every single performance by every person is unique in time. And so I'm thinking of this dialogue between the individual and the collective, because the individual makes the collective experience come alive, and then the collective experience inspires the individual. So all these people come together, they dig down into their own history and find the richness that they can lend to the performance. And then everybody experiences it in the present. And then they all go home enlivened in some way that is unique to their own character. So it's a individual, collective, individual thing.
You just painted such a beautiful picture of the eternal now. You know, music is always in the now, and we have a little bit of the lingering memory of what just went before and what's happening now, and then the alterations as it goes up in and it just painted such a beautiful picture. What was it you said, that all we have is this present moment, and yet in the present, what William Faulkner says, there's no such thing as past. You know, the past is not past. You know, that everything that we've lived is with us. You know, and this is because linear time is an illusion. You did a wonderful talk about the linear world. I think, was it last time or something? That linear time is not real. You know, time, everything that is our life is like a song. You know, like you said, written hundreds of years ago, and we're just at this moment right now. But in the eternal realm, that everything that is happened, has happened, and everything that is going to happen is there too. You know, I mean, there's this idea of, well, let's say like this: you could have a time machine where you can go into the future or in the past. Is that possible? Do you think it's possible to go into the future? If the, like, for instance, some kind of a, do you think it's possible? I don't know. What do you think, Roy? Is it possible to go into the future? And what does that mean?
I don't think, I think time is a man-made construct. It's all happening at once. So all of it, I mean, you can go into the past and the future in the now. I don't want to even try to explain that, but I think it happens to people. That's what a deja vu is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the deja vu is definitely a sense of that we remember something that hasn't happened yet. You know, I mean, that we have a memory of something that has not yet happened. Okay. So anyway, that's one of these Kairos events. I just wanted to show you this little thing that's been one of the most beautiful things, little sayings of my life. You know, we are like a chorus grouped around a conductor who allow our attention to be distracted by the audience or what is occurring behind us. It is only by turning back to the conductor that we sing as we should sing. In this song or dance, one looks upon the source of life, the origin of being, the root of the soul, and the cause of the good. Okay. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It's only by turning back to the conductor that we sing as we should. We're like a chorus grouped around the conductor who allow our attention to be distracted by what is occurring behind us. Isn't that, now, who said that too? Plotinus. You know, I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful saying. But Tim, you want to kind of sum up the dream, or I mean, I would like to sum it up one more time after you're done. But just anything, or Gary and Roy, if you have any more comments on it too.
Well, I really like what Tim said. Tim has the talent of doing that. He has the talent of being an individual and being able to interact with the collective where everybody enjoys the whole event. He's able to do that. I mean, that's a real special talent, and it's a social platform that's acceptable. And Tim's aware of it. I can see why he's excited. You know, that he can participate in that. He understands it.
Tim, you are a person, I believe, who has a vocation. You know, someone who is called.
Yep, very much so.
I mean, and so in that sense, you approach life in that sense. Do you remember when I think the calling came even when you were a young man in your garage with all the acetylene torches and the metals.
Long before I understood what any of that meant. You know, I started doing it as a kid, just not knowing what I was doing, just playing around. And it wasn't until college age or maybe a little later that I finally started looking at it as a vocation, or I guess it was a vocation before it was a profession. But it occurred to me finally that I don't have any other choice. I thought about doing professional acting and even music. And I could have probably been just as happy doing either of those things. But I'd sort of been started on this path as a little kid. So it was kind of just taking the path of least resistance in that regard, just saying, okay, here I go.
You know, the word painful experiences too. You know, I mean, just the great sorrow that people have been, let's say the most sorrowful experiences. What would you say that the most painful experiences would be? Are they the most sorrowful experiences? You know,
I think losing what you love is the most painful
Yes,
thing. Yeah.
lost. You know, all life is just lost. My mother, or my wife, was watching you know, she lost, her sister died in 1970. See, we've been about 77 of a, you know, and not a good, you know, she just was the most beautiful girl that ever lived, and she died. And it was just a tragedy that's affected everybody, including myself. And then her brother died, then her mother died, and her uncle died. And anyway, she was watching this documentary about mothers dying. People talk about their mother dying. And her son hadn't got vaccinated yet. And she started to cry because he wasn't feeling good. And she was afraid he had COVID. And she just said, I can't take any more loss.
Yeah.
It was sort of a you know, sad experience. But anyway, now I want to mention too, you know, there's also these Kairos experiences. So you know, they're these either peak or valley experiences. You know, we go from these painful experiences to these high points and to these low points and these high points. And, you know, each one of those turns in the amplitude, you know, is pretty much a Kairos moment. Because usually at the lowest point, and you can't get any more lower, that's a, you know, Aniela Yaffe says that is the most, where we learn way more than we will ever learn up here. Because up here we have inflation. When we're down here, we have deflation. And when we are at our lowest point of deflation, we're at our highest point of introversion, our highest, where we're the most permeable to the unconscious, and also where we know the ego can't help us anymore, that we have to get divine assistance, because the ego, we've touched bottom, you know. And Jung said, you cannot be fully human unless you touch bottom. You know, if you always live in this sheltered realm up here, and you never, you know, like Marie-Louise Montbrand says, that unfortunately the Germans, this was after World War II, are experiencing a great economic boom. So they'll never integrate what happened in the first 45 years of the 20th century, you know. But I mean, the only way that they could integrate it is through, she says, depressions are healthy. You know, painful experiences are healthy for us because it forces us to look inward for the first time. So the idea of the painful experience is always also the door to realizing that the ego is secondary. Where the ego experiences its most painful moments is where it realizes that it is to be in service to something else. And that is a wonderful thing too, that Jung said, the only way that someone with a grievous wound that could never be healed, the only way that they can heal themselves is to be in service to others who've had a similar wound. You know, and that's the principle of AA, by the way, that the only way that you can heal yourself as an addict is to be in service to other addicts. There's no other way. And this was, if you ever read the story of Dr. Bob and Bill W., they tried every other way. This was the only way that worked. It's through this community of the lost, the ones who'd hit bottom, and through this community of, you know what they always say is one sober drunk needs another sober drunk, like a man lost at sea needs a lifeboat. Okay. So now we're having the concert with the most painful experiences. Now put that into context with what Yaffe says, with what Young says, with what Bill W. and Dr. Bob said. You know, this is really is a moment of, it's not exactly alchemy, you know, it is the human path to individuation, really, to be in service to someone else who's experienced that pain. Anyway, I just like that concert that's of the painful experiences. Well, anyway, did you guys want, I'll have a, Roy, did you ever find a dream? Well, I'll bring in a couple next time if I do. Or let's just hear some final
I sent
comments.
you one.
Okay.
I sent you one, and you can just store it for some time.
Okay. All right. Well, do you have any final comments about, do you see how beautiful this dream is, though? I mean, this concert of, we've been asked to conduct it, and then the music is made alive by living beings.
Yeah, one of my, maybe my favorite definition of art is a lament. And I really, really totally believe that. I mean, if you're making art about happy stuff, it never really connects. I mean, that's entertainment, it's decoration, but real art is a lament. And it's, you know, I think about you look at any masterpiece of any medium, it's about some tragedy, it's about some struggle, some life and death struggle that doesn't have a resolution. Like, think of Macbeth, you know, it's just murder and mayhem all the way through. But what transforms it is the same kind of attention that we give to the unconscious, you know, giving our loving attention to this human situation and saying, yep, this is exactly where we are. We are on this roller coaster, and a bunch of people are all the time getting wounded and killed, and pretty soon our time comes up and we get crushed by something. And that's just the way it is. And this idea that, you know, there's a kind of ideal resolution is just is a kind of escape. You know,
who is it? Viktor Frankl. I mean, look what he did with the painful. Gary? Do you have any final thoughts, words of wisdom?
Oh no, I just love what you both had to say. That was just wonderful.
Well, Tim, both these dreams are just don't I feel just a deep. I think the sense of loss shines through. And it is the sense of loss that shines, or sense of abandonment, the sense that shines through is the open door to God. I really do think it is because what is desolate and what is dying and what is sick here is the attitude that we are whole, alone in our tinny, flat, 2-inch deep ego,
Yeah.
And that's what rings so hollow. Well, anyway, this was a wonderful discussion. I think it's just wonderful. Yeah, and we'll start with Roy, and I'll get working on some dreams, and hopefully Charles will be here next time, because I do think Charles' dream is somewhat sacred, and he said he'd been having an epiphany about it. So, and I feel like it's sacred. And
did he ever tell us what the epiphany was? I don't think he did.
I think no, he said right now. What did you hear? What he said, Roy? He says, like, I don't think I can talk about it right now.
He said dreams about not being able to connect with anima and homosexuality. That's what he said. I wrote it down.
Yeah. but he said it was something that was very personal and he couldn't
Well, that's
talk
pretty
about it.
personal. That's pretty personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but there's no judgment here. I mean, it's just a painful experience of what, and I'm not saying it's true, and I'm not saying maybe, you know, we'll find, who cares what it is? It is what it is. We accept reality as it is. Well, anyway, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time, Monday or whenever. Hopefully Charles is here.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye, Gary, Tim, and Roy.
Bye.
Bye now.